Once they all come in.
Good evening, everybody. So if we can just mute as we come in, and we'll take you off your mute as we, discuss, invite you in to have a chat. And if you can just share this out to as many people as you can. And the last half an hour or hour, we'll do questions. So just put your questions in the chat as we go, and we'll get back to them. Or wait till the end, put your hand up. If you want to put your hand up, use reactions, just put your hand up in there, and then we will get to you towards the end. But we'll just wait for everyone to join. Hope everyone's going well. Feels like I haven't been on here for so long. It's nice to see everyone's face. Renee, lovely to see you again. We caught up last night.
It's only a week, Pen.
Oh, because I kind of missed the last one, and yeah, well, week's a long time. It's like so much can happen these days in a week too. Come on.
Yeah, I know, right? I only said it for an hour tonight, but so we'll just do half an hour explanation of what we're doing and a quick rundown on what's been going on. If it runs a little bit over, I don't mind, but yeah, just sort of, I just put the hour tonight, might bring more people in.
Yeah. So if you can try and put your cameras on, guys, if you can, that it just keeps it a safe environment. If we kind of can see who you are. And Marina's always got a beautiful, happy face. Lovely to see you. Matt's on. Marika's lovely to see you. Marina, where do you get your happy face? Oh my goodness, we all need that. Like, you're just so happy all the time. It's infectious.
Cool. Well, I'll start things off. I think most people know what the QMS is by now. It's a direct democracy system of forum by the people with transparency and security built in. So I'm getting it really, really short, Pen. There you go. Look, hopefully very, very soon I'll be heading off to meet with the Indigenous elders and get their endorsement for the QMS. Couple more things to sort out before I leave, but it's looking pretty good that I'll be going within the week. So, and I do hope to be in Canberra by the 26th. So, yeah, go and show them what we've got and get it endorsed. And if they're happy with it, then yeah, great. Well, we can proceed from that point. We can run the referendum at that stage, and everything's hunky dory and done the right way. I have been talking. I'm waiting for them to call back, but I might be on the project soon on Channel 10. I imagine they're going to try and make me look like some crazy long-haired Wolf Grills, whatever you call him, type dude, or Bear Grylls, whatever he is. Yeah, but yeah, I'm just me. So, and I don't mind the crazy tag because I wear it anyway, and my family thinks I am. A lot of people do, so that's okay. So also there's some interesting things happening, which I've told Penny about. I can't talk too much yet about it, but what I can say is that there is a meeting very soon coming in into effect between several of the, let's just say, legal experts within the freedom movement. And there will be a very interesting meeting that will be put out. A little bit more details got to be sorted out on that. Ed Gilbert's behind it. That much I can tell you. The other thing I can tell you is that when you see the people involved and what they're actually planning to do, it's going to prove one way or another whether the law can help us or whether we're wasting our time there. And that's a pretty big thing to try to prove. So we'll talk about that once I've got permission and more is available to talk about, and it's happening very soon. So I'll have news by the next meeting on that one. Other than that, we've had some people come forward offering funding. We're looking into that at the moment. That's to both develop the QMS locally and place it all in the blockchain rather than having a website and the blockchain app, and to make it more user-friendly. And if that sort of pans out, we are told we may be able to get enough money to run the referendum and to market the QMS as well. So we'll get it out to mainstream one way or another. If I do get on the project, obviously, if I can, I will drop it in there. But I'm just going to see what sort of vibe it is. I've got to see the final edit before I'm going to allow them to release my image or voice. So trying to get that in place with them, that may mean I don't get the interview, but it will be a great opportunity to go out before the public. They want to talk about the Truthers Trades and Services Marketplace, which I'm happy to do, but that's a tool for people to use. That to me, that's far less important than what we're doing in the QMS. So,
want to explain what that is, because not everyone's aware.
Okay, well, Truthers Trades and Services Marketplace is a place where we can all trade goods and services, promote our businesses, sell household appliances, goods, whatever, food, anything you like, health products, education systems, skills, whatever, and you can seek them out there. There's nearly 5,000 members in the group. It grew quite quickly. I started, I think, back in January of 2021, and it just took off. Within a month, it had like 3,000 members, and it's continued to grow from there. Great people in there. They're absolutely beautiful souls. They're people that I want to do business with. If there's a product, that would be where I would try to look first generally, if it's something I think I'd find in there. You can get anything in there too, from a massage to candles. You can buy clothes and furniture. It's actually really good. We've got 3 groups there: the global, the Australia, and the UK. It's just tacked on the end of them. So the global one's by far the biggest at the moment, and it is primarily Australians, as is the Australia group. The UK group's only got about, I think, 1,000 or so in there at the moment. So that hasn't grown as quickly as the others have, but they're there. I originally set the global one up because I was looking to be able to network with people and find the skills and people I needed for the QMS, and it's brought a number of them through into the QMS. So we've been lucky enough that it worked. So yeah, it was just one of those things, middle of the night, one night I thought, oh, great idea, and did it. And yeah, those can sometimes be the best. So yeah, what else to report? With the, I don't know, I'll go into my side of the Canberra thing. I support what people are trying to do there. I don't necessarily always support the way things have been done there. And that's just where I stand with it. I think there are better approaches than aggression or burning down buildings and things like that. Yeah. We don't need to approach the government really for anything or contract with them or do anything for them. We are all sovereign. We're born sovereign. We're sovereign of the land if we're born of the land. I recognise the plight of the Indigenous nations and their right to the traditional ownership, etc. What I don't agree with is all of the disunification, division, the fighting, all of the disunity, calling people names, calling each other names. I want a unified country, and I understand not everyone's always going to agree, but there are ways we treat each other, and calling people out, causing trouble, destroying other people's creation streams or whatever they're doing when it's all in a good cause is just dumb. So I can't countenance things like that. Not only that old Parliament House holds a lot of Indigenous tribal artefacts in it, and if it burned down, the losses there, they've lost enough. Why do more damage? You know what I mean? It's just silly. So yeah, that's my statement on that. I haven't yet caught up with Didge and a few others that I want to catch up with, but Ed Gilbert was up there, Ryan was up there, and we've caught up. And yeah, I mean, I totally support the Indigenous nations. I've stepped back a little from the whole Canberra thing because I'm not going to run my mouth off on information that came back when I'm not always seeing integrity in the information that's coming through. And that's not questioning anyone. That's just, yeah, we do due diligence. We do try to check things out, and I mean, we'll support anyone and everyone that's doing a good thing. but I will speak up when I think they're not. So I'll speak directly to them first, but when public statements made, then yes, I will also make my own and sort of let people know where I stand. That's enough of that one. What else we got, Pen? What else have we been doing? There's so much. Oh, we've got the Heal Me group. We're having a chat to them. Is that tomorrow or Tuesday? Or
Yeah. So I met with Renee. We had dinner last night, and the lovely Ken Bartle, a natural law specialist, who Renee is here tonight. She's her and Ken got on like a house on fire and had a lot to talk about. I'm sure they'll have some more conversations. And Ken was quite excited, and he was very appreciative, Renee, of your company last night. So thank you. So Renee, I'd like you maybe to come on and talk about the Heal Me group if you're ready to, or the idea of it. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not my idea, but I'm involved in the background, and it's being built, and it's being built quite in quite big ways in the back. So Heal Me, I guess. I'm not. I guess it's hard to even explain this kind of stuff, so everybody understands. But if you can imagine a system where you find all of your health needs in the one place, alternative, mainstream type that used to exist but would now exist in a different format, will be able to be accessed through Heal Me. That's the aim. So according to my Heal Me contacts, but also the stuff that I've been involved in so far, there's going to be a group of practitioners of all kinds, health, allied health, and all those types, and they're already gathering, as well as there's a guild that's associated with that. It's already been well set up, and they actually were setting up for quite some time before these things came through, because they knew what was coming. Some of these people are well organised and well versed in the common law side of things, in the kind of background of things. So I guess my involvement is more kind of as a practitioner and as a connector. And so, yeah, the plan is this week sometime that we're going to meet. So still yet to sort out the details. And they're super keen to now meet with you guys after I've had a few conversations. It's complicated. I know, Graham, that you probably can understand that there's been lots of stuff that's gone down in some of these alternative communities, but I know all of us are on the same page. So that's the most important thing. And I guess my plan, but also Penny, we've been talking about this, but also the Heal Me guys are really keen on this, is to connect, education, health, all different aspects of life, so that when, if anything hits the fan, so to speak, that people actually know that you don't have to go to mainstream. There are alternatives, and they are good quality, and the same people might have existed before. They're just offering it in a different format. So I hope that kind of makes sense for everyone. That's as much as I can kind of say without speaking out of turn for and on behalf of them. Does that make sense, everyone?
yeah,
if you have any questions, just let.
So it's an out of the matrix sort of situation. So say, for example, you fall ill and the government suddenly come out with, you cannot go to hospital or see your doctor unless you've had the vaccination. So we need these options, and that's what the QMS is about, right? So the QMS, to me, if I explain it to everybody, it's the circle of the whole of the orange, and the segments are the education, the health department, the self-sustainability, which Renee's husband is actually quite interested in looking at to join us to do. So we need to talk to him as well, Renee. So, if anyone here is interested in taking over and looking at developing a part of the section of that orange, then, just let's do it. Ask for a meeting with Graham or myself or whoever here that you resonate with. No one's the boss, right? That's the beauty of it. We're all equal. Whoever you feel you want to talk to about or join partnerships with, and start to develop these discussions, these meetings, and just get moving on it. It's so simple, really. Like, you'll be invited to go into the back end of the system and you develop that department. So Graham and I can't do everything. So we want people to come and take over those sections. Right, Graham?
Yeah,
That's what we want.
Yeah, can I just add something in there? And I think if I can probably almost put it in lay person's language if anyone here hasn't kind of come across this stuff before, because I know there's a couple of my contacts, hi Elsa, in here. Yeah, just kind of, I guess I want to put it in another way because some people might not have heard some of this lingo, jargon, all that kind of stuff. I feel like I really need to put it another way where this is a grassroots movement. I feel like I need to kind of put it like that. So instead of a top-down approach, it's a bottom-up approach, and almost like a community development kind of style approach without using those kind of technical kind of terms. But it's really around if you want to be part of something, just put your hand up, and we'd love for you to be part of things. And that's the kind of way that Heal Me is working, and that you guys are working. So it's very much, by the people, for the people kind of stuff.
The QMS itself is a direct democracy tool. So what we can use it for is designing policy ourselves. So anybody can propose anything. Obviously, if it has merit, they can either lobby, or other people will see the merit in it and will start to put likes to it. When it hits 1,000 likes, and the numbers aren't fixed at this stage, in fact, they're a lot lower at the moment while we don't have the membership up at the stages we'd like to see it at. But basically, the rule of thumb is it starts at about 1,000. It'll go into our news feed at that stage, which will develop more interest. At 10,000 votes, it'll go into a test and measuring phase by experts who know about that particular field, or policy that's being redesigned. So within the health area, for instance, you would probably have doctors, nurses, natural health therapists. If money is required, you probably bring in some bookkeeping and accounting people, legal people, and all of those people would volunteer their time and come in. And you might even have a few patients or things like that come in to give their points of view. And again, depending on what it is, you would try and get a fairly broad cross-section within that particular policy area of people who are interested in volunteering their time to help develop it. Once that's done, it's all got to be done transparently. So to be done in either Zoom meetings or public meetings where they're filmed, everything that's spoken about, everything that's done, every part of the development of the policy, every person's input into it would be recorded and placed back into the news feed and linked back to that policy so that people can do peer research and independent vetting of the information that is being brought forth. Now, this can work at any level for any policy. What I've stated is the military themselves would probably operate under the or a constitution. What they do, we probably don't need to know everything about except for expenditure. Aside from that, all of the public services would fall directly under the people. The military's role would be to serve and protect, as would the police force role, or it should be constabulary constitutionally, but it would return to a serve and protect status. Now, there's really the Constitution and law, their points I don't want to get too into tonight because they cause all sorts of arguments. We know that they've never been lawfully enacted within the country. When I talk, I'm talking about moving forward. I'm saying we've drawn a line in the sand that we're all stepping over, and that we are trying to create a better new country that recognises its culture and history and is steeped in truth and honour and integrity, not lies, theft and dishonour and murder and genocide and all the other rubbish that our politicians have perpetrated against the people. We don't care whether you're vaxxed or unvaxxed. We don't care where you came from or how long you've lived in the country. We care that you're a human being and that you should be part of a system that is of, for and by the people. There are some things I've suggested along the way to try to keep the system safe. They've been amended a little bit, and there are areas which people really need to get in, have a look at and discuss. And because it's a system of, for and by the people, just because I wrote the initial version 1.0 doesn't mean that's the system we'll end up going live with in the long run. So The idea is to get as many people in, get them involved, get them to help redesign the system and the processes and all of the policies of the country under the one banner. So we're all unifying under the QMS banner to basically protect our children, protect the future of the country, and to get back our wealth, our assets, and our freedom. So that's what the QMS is, and that's what we're promoting. Yeah, it's to me, it's the only way to go. If we don't have a direct democracy, the other options aren't looking so great. We, the people, really need to step into the position of leadership now ourselves. Now, there'll always be leaders. There'll be leaders in fields. There'll be leaders in fields of health. There'll be leaders in fields of education, in the field of, finance. There'll always be people who are good at one thing and or really good at one thing and can add their expertise. The beauty of doing it this way is that if you're an expert who works within a field of developing a policy and your modality is incorrect or has been put forth sneakily or in an untrustworthy way, it will be picked up by other experts that are watching it. There will be other professionals watching these people as we go, and it will be spoken up. There is only one law that I've created around the QMS, and that is that to mess with the QMS or to mess with the people of Australia is an act of treason. So anybody that was feeding false information into it or doing things like that is doing so at the risk of the charge of treason, and we all know what penalty that generally carries. So again, that's something for the people to decide as to what the penalty is. I've stated it should be the death sentence because that's the highest penalty you can give someone. And if you're trying to screw with the people of the country, then to get 50 grand or a couple of $1 million, then you probably deserve it, to be quite honest. So I am a pacifist. I am against the death penalty, but I have to keep the system safe and secure. And so therefore we needed at least one policy in it to do that. Beyond that, the people design the country. And I mean, if they want to change that policy, everything's amenable in the QMS. Anybody can put in a suggestion. Anyone can help develop it. Eventually, once we've got enough people here in Australia, and we can hold a referendum, and that will be to do with getting endorsement first through the tribal nations, and then we will need to run the referendum. And there is a cost to that, obviously, to setting that up and running it. We're not asking anybody directly to pay it. I'm hoping that some millionaire is going to feel really altruistic and come along and foot the bill for us. May or may not happen, in which case we'll fundraise. We can raise the money, and it wouldn't cost, if we got 1 million of the freedom movement people to contribute, we're looking at the figure we've got at the moment, it's about 30 million. It sounds like a lot, but to buy a country back, it's cheap. And that would pay for marketing, that would pay for the referendum and the equipment and what we need to get the QMS and a referendum form in front of every single Australian. The only other thing we'd need is for the people of the movement. Again, we need about 1 million of them, and we're aware there's about 2 million to help us actually deliver these forms within their local areas. And if you think about it, it's 15 million households, it's about 15 houses each that 1 million people would visit. That'll vary area to area, of course, but it's actually pretty easy to run the referendum, and we can do it lawfully. We can do it peacefully, and we can do it without sedition, without any threats, without any intimidation. This is just a straightforward, we the people have spoken. Let us get fired off. There's two results. Either the QMS is elected in and replaces their system, the Westminster system, or it doesn't, and it still exists, and we can form a split-off society. Which we can also do lawfully and constitutionally. And again, if we've got the endorsement of the tribal elders, it will be correctly done. So the worst part is if we do fail, I might be then held for treason and sedition myself, and I might face a firing squad, which it's okay, because if we don't win, I'm not too concerned about that. I don't want to go forward in what we're looking at if they keep going the way they're going. So
I think what they're doing is more unlawful than what we're doing.
It absolutely is. Ours actually, believe it or not, Wayne Blues looked at what we're doing and says it's completely constitutional. So if they're not operating under the Constitution, yet the QMS is. So, you know, read between the lines. It's sort of like somehow we've stepped into the right path. And I do believe that this was creator given. It came to me in downloads over 30 years. So I was very lucky to be the, I guess, the vessel to bring it forth. Because, yeah, I do believe in the system. I do believe that we have a clear way out. I do have a plan for getting us out. As I said, 30 million bucks. If someone wants to write me checks to the tune of 2 weeks, I'll have us free. And either they're gone or I'm facing the firing squad. So, but you guys still have the QMS whichever way, and you can still create the splinter society whichever way. So, mind you, probably Penny and Tim will have to go into hiding, and a few people around us would probably have to run away too. But yeah, this is a war, so we've got to do what we've got to do to win it. And yeah, I don't want to be violent. I'd rather not fight them. Let's be smart. Let's bring out new creations, new constructs like Renee's done and the people she works with, like Marika's doing with education. And Marika's done a lot with education. I've actually connected Marika with some other people this week that are teachers, and they're going to be talking about new education systems and also helping children while we're in the current situation. So it's a case, we've got a platform where everyone can connect and where we can put all these services. There's no cost to any of it. At worst, as I say, I might come out and say, can everyone stick 30 bucks in at some point, but it won't be going into my account. We'll have an independent bookkeeper set up with it. There'll be several check signers associated to it, and it'll be done properly so that everything's transparent and accountable and reported back in the QMS website for every dollar that comes in and every dollar that goes out. We want full transparency in governance. People should be private, governance should be transparent, and that's where we stand. So we're not, yeah. So I spoke today with Kent and Lance Brown from the Australia project. You're going to be seeing some more interesting things from their end as well. Kent is actually setting up a TV station at the moment. I've got an interview on it apparently, and so that's another interview I'm doing. But he's also interviewing a whole heap of independent politicians and people like that. Actually, I don't think independent politicians are going to achieve anything because they're going to give their votes to either Liberal or Labor. So a two-party electoral system's not going to give us any form of democracy. You get Liberal or Labor. It's the same bird with two different wings. So I know everyone's saying, who should I vote for? Who should I vote for? Well, I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I don't vote for anyone. I don't even go. I never have and I never will. And they can't do anything about it. Lawfully, they'll try and fine you, but it doesn't stand. They throw them out straight away. And if they ever drag you into court over it, just tell the judge you don't want to vote for a political system that's full of pedophiles and corrupt bastards that steal money and rape children, and find how quickly the judge throws you out of court and closes the case down, because the worst you'll get's a little slap on the wrist. I did it once and I really upset that judge. So I didn't realise it would, but I got out of $47,000 worth of fines at the time, and I'd never voted in my life, and there was all these costs and fees. He was quite upset. He didn't want to open the tin of worms, is what he said. I'm not opening that tin of worms in my courtroom. So that he knew, he knows. So yeah, but he didn't want to set a precedent. And if you go and do that in any courtroom, things like that are really great to throw in, because if the judge actually does, or the magistrate moves forward and tries to go further with it, they are setting a precedent that they're not going to be very popular for. So yeah, it was, yeah, again, providence. I go in there not knowing what to say, absolutely crapping myself most of the time, and when I speak, I just tell the truth. So that's how it is. Now, Marika's probably going to kill me for this, but did you want to say anything about the education stuff at all? No, you will kill me. Oh, thanks. Okay, all right, we'll leave it at that. Yeah, when Marika's ready, she'll, and I know she's been doing a lot. Marika's been offering homeschooling advice and help for any parents that wish to do it. And we're going to be starting those meetings up again soon. Marika's just doing a few things in the background to prepare for it, which is why she probably doesn't want to talk about it at this stage. So sorry, Marika, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. But the homeschooling that she's offering and the help that she's offering parents is it's free and it's invaluable. I mean, if you know people who are sweating it, what should I do with my kids? Get on the QMS website in the events page. You'll find it there. She's got groups for homeschooling advice and I think education as well. If you want to help redesign the education system, get in there and talk to her. And I know that Marika has some really great ideas around that. The teachers I spoke to this week and connected with her, I believe, are of a similar mindset. I'll let her find that out and enlighten me later. But yeah, we've just got to keep, it's about networking. It's about finding people, connecting people, showing people what we have. And yeah, if you want to explain it as a blockchain direct democracy system that we run the country, we don't need politicians anymore. We keep all the government services, everything stays in place, but we redesign it and we recreate it for the people. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to get new buildings, all of that sort of thing. We can take the buildings, we can take the people, we can re-educate, we can retrain, we can introduce new things through policy as a people, as a nation. So that's pretty much it.
I've had a lot of, we've had a few emails with volunteers, Graham, wanting to offer to hand out pamphlets and things like that. So anyone here, like, there's a flyer designed already. There's a few actually. You can go and choose in the website and go and print them out. I mean, I had a friend in Coffs camping the other weekend, and she said she noticed that there was pamphlets put underneath car windscreen wipers, you know, on not a rainy day, obviously. And that's a great idea because they have to take it off to drive off, right? So they have to look at it. So if you have something, the heading on there, do you trust your government, in big writing up the top, like adjust it if you want the pamphlet, you know, design your own, whatever you want. But I think that's really probably something we need to work on as well, Graham, just to get the pamphlets out there, to start printing them out yourself. And it's not expensive.
Yeah, no,
you can afford it, you know. Yeah.
If people can, then great. If they can't, then maybe they've got a friend who can or something like that. I mean, like, it's just look for solutions. Don't stare at a problem. Know the problem, but look for a solution. That's what we all need to do at the moment. When you stay mired in problem and fear, there's no way you'll find a solution. So you always look to the solution. Always seek the solution, because there always is one. And even when there doesn't appear to be one, when you network it out there will be. Someone will know somewhere. It's just, that's the way that things work. It's how we built the QMS. It's how we, I mean, I say, oh, gee, Pen, I need this. And then 3 days later, Penny rings me up going, guess what? I've been talking to this guy and he does. And I'm like, connect us. So, you know, and that's how it works. You put it out there, it comes in. And I've been lucky enough that I put it out, Penny manifests it in. So I don't even have to tell her what I'm looking for. Sometimes I'll think, I need this. And then 2 days later, Penny will ring up saying, I've got this. And it's what I need. So
that's what happened with Renee and I. Yeah.
So, and look, we want professionals. We want people who are smart. We want people who are motivated to come and look at what we're doing and to take charge. Be a leader. Look, do what you do, but do it with us, right? Put it in there, get the people on board, do it in whatever other things you do too, but work with us and help us create unity within what we're trying to achieve, because that's what it's all about. The more of us that come together, the more of us that land in the one spot. I mean, we've got censorship-free social media, a free trade directory. There's chat. There's, you know, if people really want, we'll put dating sites in there and that sort of stuff too. I don't know. I've sort of steered clear of that bit seedy, but hey, we'll do whatever's necessary, you know, and what the people want, because that's what it is. It's a people's platform. It's for you guys to use. It's for everybody to share, to connect, to network, to find what they need, to create new policy and to create a better country with. You know, that's why it's there. So did anyone have any questions, or did anyone want to sort of come on and talk about anything in particular at all? You're completely welcome to put your hand up and we'll unmute you and you can come on in. I've got to get that cricket button so that when this happens, we can go chirp, 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 because it happens every time I ask the question. Penny, you ask it, see if it works better.
Well, we've got some volunteers. I'll just go through some names in case they watch this back. So we've got Paul Lang, who is internet.
They may not want their names said. It might be.
Oh, okay. So I'll just say Paul.
Without their permission, I probably wouldn't. Yeah.
Okay. Video, podcasting, public speaking. So there's people like this, you know, that if any of you want to connect with these people, that's why I want to say it out loud, then just let me know and I will connect you guys to work together. I actually don't know what area they live in, but that actually doesn't matter. You can connect on Zoom. Another lady, Michelle, again, distributing pamphlets, Yolande, Pauline, just lots of people want to distribute pamphlets. So if they can get together with someone that can maybe afford to print some out, then, you know, team up, buddy up and go for a walk the dog and just do it. Like, we just need to act every day. There needs to be an action to get results, right? So if we just sit back and wait for Graham to do something, we all need to work together as a team. So, you know, maybe buddy up with somebody and just, even the rallies on, I think the 15th, the Reclaim the Line, get some pamphlets, hand them out at the rally, start talking to people. I mean, Pauline Evans is brilliant at that. That's how she met Renee, and then Renee met me. Like, this is how it works, guys, networking. Pauline's brilliant at that. I mean, and she just oozes this ambience of such a beautiful spirit, you know, and that's what we want as well. We don't want to overwhelm or hassle people or go, oh, you know, you've got to join us. And, you know, it's how you approach it in a good frequency. So, you know, just keep talking to people. Network is how it works, and bring 10 people every week on Sundays to these meetings. Like, I think we're still in a little bit holiday mode at the moment, so that's fine. That's probably why we're a bit quiet tonight, but Matt's having trouble getting on. He's down at the beach. There's been a lot of stuff on with Matt too, with the refugees. You've seen all that in Melbourne. So they did want a lot of people there today. Did anyone go down there today? That could be where a lot of people are, because they're rallying down there right now. So yeah, but just keep active, keep doing things every day. So Ross couldn't come on, Graham. He said he apologized. Couldn't come on tonight, and Ken also.
No problem. I sort of thought Lance and Kent were going to come in tonight. They may come in late or something. So
are they in Queensland?
Sorry?
Are they in Queensland?
Kent definitely is. Lance, I'm not sure. I thought he was in New South Wales, but he could be.
I might think it's that time because their hours different.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, well, we did discuss the difference in time. We've got, oh, thank goodness, somebody's got a question. Hi, Marina, how are you? Unmute yourself if you like that. Hi, how are you?
I wasn't too sure. This is the first time I ever been on, what is it? Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
And please excuse me. I'm from Warrnambool. Today I was being very busy in the garden, or trying to make a garden. But like today, in Warrnambool we have a Southwest stand-up where, because we're all unvaccinated. So what we do in Warrnambool in Victoria is that we hold every Sunday at 11 o'clock, either at the Civic, which we can't do at this moment, because they have their little, anyway, they have their stuff. So now we take it down to Lake Home. In Warrnambool, that's Victoria. If anyone knows where Victoria is, it is, it's actually, it's beside the seaside. So what we do is we all get together with a lot of people that are unvaccinated and vaccinated, and because Warrnambool is a little town, you know, and they are they're like old serpents in the grass, and it's taken us a long time to get the little snakes to come out and join us. So like, you know, and it is so quite uncanny when you got the media, the Standard, saying this and this about us. And I'm like thinking, do you really know what you're actually saying? Have you really actually done any input on doing anything, or are you just going with narrative? So what we do now is we just love everyone. Anyone that comes along, we just hug them, love them, everything. We give them, oh, for goodness gracious. We give them everything, you know, support. That, you know, they were actually thinking they were the only people here around Warrnambool, Victoria, I could go, Mortlake, Cobden, Swinburne, Colac, Kinderdown, you know, everywhere. And we all get together on today at 11 o'clock. Most people don't come. But next week we have United, we're going to reclaim the line. And it's only for the children. You know, we respect everyone, vaccinated and unvaccinated, but mostly it's the voice for the kids. So when we march up along from the Civic from Warrnambool right down to Liebig Street, and we come along, and the police here have been absolutely awesome. You know, they haven't harassed. Before the second one we did, they did, but they're just not doing it now. Well, you'll see us next week doing this. So, as I said, we're reclaiming the line, as we always do. We talk about what's going on here and with everyone else. And with Warrnambool City, it's just unbelievable what multimedia, especially the Standard, and they sneak it and snake on us all, you know. And we were like, oh yeah, whatever, you know, we didn't care. But we still did it, you know, but like, we're doing it for the 15th of January at 11 o'clock at Civic. And yeah.
It is a beautiful place down there in Warrnambool. I've been there myself. I'm in Victoria too. As is Heidi, I know too, if she doesn't mind me saying that. So, but yeah, it is a gorgeous spot down there. I've been through there a few times and stopped down there myself. So, gee, next time I'm down there, I'm going to have to come down and look for a free hug. So it sounds like a beautiful place to be.
And I'm sure Marina will give you one. Look at that smile. Like, she's so beautiful, isn't she?
I love that you do that, though. That's such a beautiful way to touch people and to, you know, to show that love and that human connection at a time where people are missing human connection. So, and look, yeah, anybody who trusts corporations, the government or the media, more for you. I mean, what can I say? We've known they've been lying for years. And when I say corporations, I don't mean your mum and dad businesses that have incorporated. I'm talking about your big business, your big pharma, your Soros education system, all Rothschild education system. It's all there. You know, these people they see money, they see a need, they run to it for the money. And we've got something it's grassroots, it's for and by the people. And I honestly, if you want corruption to end, you take out people money and a perception of power, and there's nowhere for it to go. How can it even start if those three things aren't there? So yeah, it comes down to every individual then just putting out them, coming from a loving perspective, being the best version of themselves and standing in their truth, just with integrity and honor. Do what you say you're going to do, be who you are. That's all you have to do. So I'm not perfect, and I know, you know, there's plenty of imperfect people in this world. I don't know anybody who is perfect, but we all are. in our own way, because we're meant to be unique. We're meant to be different. We're not meant to come under a global system or a system where we all have to be the same and follow the same rules and the same rubbish. It's just silly. Different people need different things because we're all built differently. We're created differently. We come from different experiences, so we can't see things the same. However, if we have transparency in policy making and decision making, at least we know why they're there, and at least we know it's the truth, and at least we can then follow the rules or not and accept any punishment that may be due for not following the rules, if that's the case. And look, it should be that the people make these decisions, not these politicians. It should be based in the masses, what we all want in an educated fashion. If we're educated, we're aware, and we have that transparency, and the transparency gives us that education. We've got a reference point to go back to. All of a sudden, the lies of governance disappear. Corruption goes. Everything's back to the people. They can't steal from us if they're not in control of the money.
And we just got to stand strong in our truth. I mean, Marina, your group sounds like someone to stand in the park, which is what I do here. I'm in New South Wales, Mid-North Coast. And the group that I was in, that they don't get it. Honestly, they don't get it. And that's okay. But, you know, don't judge others that try and introduce you to a new way. And that's what they actually did to me. Because I wasn't going with bossy or a politician and I introduced the QMS, apparently I'm leading a cult, right? So I today ran my first new stand in the park that I started in another park. And, you know, and that's what we just do. We find another way. I'm not going to stay with a group that call this a cult when they haven't even read the prospectus.
It's because you do all the witchy stuff. You do all
I'm on the 5D level of consciousness, and they can't catch up. They're not quite ready, and that's not my fault. Okay, so I'll just go and develop a group for those type of people. Like, come on over here with me, guys. You know, don't worry about the church group if they're, you know, indoctrinating you into that and telling you to join a politician. That's not what this is about for me. So I didn't back down. I stepped up, right? And I'm standing in my truth. And they have to respect, that's my choice. That's my free will. That's my free speech, right? And to me, that's what this is all about. This is not about going to the park to talk about what politician you're going to vote for. You know, sorry. And if you're going to call the QMS a cult without even reading the prospectus, sorry, it's time to grow up.
That's right.
Okay?
My dad thinks it's socialism.
Jeez. Anyway, most of the other group joined me today, so that was really, really good. Yeah, it was really nice.
Say something. I've been here for over 33 years. I have never voted, honestly. I don't vote for anyone, politicians or anything.
Your sound's dropped out.
When they brought in,
It's back now.
As soon as they put the electric roll into my mailbox, I put in red about Adresianon. And red.
I just let the snails eat mine. I put some snails in there with it, and then they put a second one in there, so I took it out of the plastic.
I'm naughty.
And let the snails eat that one too. Keep them off the other mail.
And when they put in their stupid sensors, I said, I put, I'm cheeky. I'm so cheeky. Because I said, I'm not going to be a part of your little magical little wands. No way knowing. But like when they brought out the flu, you can't do this, you can't do this. Well, I actually felt, sorry, it wasn't for me. It was actually for my daughter because she's actually 17, right? And she's always been to church from since she was a little kid till now. When they said, the church said she can't come in, she's not vaccinated, I went, you joking? All right, that's all right, baby. Don't worry about it. And she couldn't understand though. She could not understand why all her life she's been to church, to being just bang, You can't do it.
It's point blank discrimination. It really is. It's
Yep.
disgusting. I actually had a similar thing happen a couple of weeks ago. I dropped the old garage door off at the scrap metal place and went into the office to collect my receipt. And the girl asked me for my vaccine certificate. And I've got an account with them and been dropping things off for like 6 years. And she said, can I see your vaccine certificate? And I said, no, you can't. And she said, we have to show it. And I said, no, I don't. And she said, yeah, you do. And I said, no, I don't. And she goes, but it's the law. And I said, no, it's not. It's a mandate. And there's a big difference. And you're not seeing it. It's privileged doctor-patient information. And I prefer to keep that between me and my doctor. It's none of your damn business. And she said, well, we could get $190,000 fine. My boss could get, and I said, no, he can't. That's not going to stand up in court. That's absolute rubbish. And what? Because I'm not towing the line, they're going to fine him. I said, that's ridiculous. Tell him to pass the fine on to me if he gets it. And I said, what you're doing is actually discrimination. It's disgusting. It's Nazism at the very least. And I said, you're creating a medical apartheid here. And I just can't stand for that sort of system. I said, it's none of your business whether I'm jabbed or not. And she turned around and said, well, if you don't show me the vaccine passport, we won't pay you. And I said, right, so not only are you going to discriminate, you're going to steal from me now too. And she said, well, there's signs up everywhere. And I said, well, I didn't see them because I didn't. I don't read their signs. I mean, who cares?
I don't.
Oh, there's a song about that from the 70s, signs everywhere, a sign, freaking out the people, breaking up my mind. I mean, yeah, I can't remember the band right off at the moment, but I love that song. Look, it's a real hippie song too. With the long hair, people probably think I'm a hippie after reciting that anyway. I'm not, I'm a headbanger. Back to the point. She basically, I said to her, well, if you do this, I will sue you because this is discrimination. She goes, oh, good luck with that. I said, I'm also fairly well known over Facebook and have pretty big following. I will put your business name out there and tell them how you're discriminating and what you've done. She said, oh, fine, do whatever you like. I mean, so I've got your permission. She said, yeah, do what you want, do your worst. I mean, okay. And I said, and you're also breaking the law because now you're stealing from me. I want my money or I'm getting the cops down. And she goes, oh, good luck with that. And I just turned around because I was pretty upset at that stage. Actually, if it had been a guy, I probably would have pulled him across the counter and got right up in his face and tried to scare him a bit. But it was a lady, I can't do that. So I turned around and walked out and I went to my car and I rang the police and I said, they're stealing from me here and they're discriminating. And I got a lovely police officer, a lady police officer on the phone. She said, oh, what's happened? I told her the story. She said, well, that sounds civil. And I said, well, it's not. And if you don't come down, I might go back in there and cause trouble. So you might want to send a car down so we can sort this out. And she goes, I can't send a car down there unless you go in and cause trouble, in which case we'll be arresting you. And I thought, oh, shit, the trailer's unregistered. I better not do this because if they come down, they'll probably book me for that at the very least anyway. So anyway, I said, look, this isn't fair. I said, this is discrimination. What happened to our free country? I said, I've been coming here for 6 years. I've dropped my medal off and now they're not paying me. And she said, oh, because I won't show a vaccine certificate and it's none of their damn business. And the cop said, hang on a minute, I'll go talk to my boss. And she came back a couple of minutes later and she said, oh, look, you're right. You don't have to show your certificate if asked. And I said, right. And she said, but they can refuse to serve you in a business. And I said, yeah, of course they can. But they're going to lose business. The more people that refuse them, the more business they will lose. And anyway, and by the way, I do put these out there for people, and you find a lot of people who've even had the vaccine are really upset by it and will no longer use that business. I did it to Officeworks in Ferntree Gully not long ago. So it's not just unjabbed people they're going to lose. They will lose people who believe in freedom and fairness. And, you know, you don't have to be unjabbed to believe in freedom and fairness. So just because you've been conned doesn't make you a fool or a bad person or anything like that. I know I've been conned enough in my life. Anyway, this police officer said, look, I'm not quite sure what we can do. I said, well, at the very least, you can give her a phone call and tell her that she's breaking the law. She said, well, theoretically, she could give you back the goods. And I said, it's scrap metal. It's sitting on top of a junk pile and they picked it up with their machine and damaged it. I don't want it back. So we were talking like $60 worth. It's not even that much money, but that wasn't the point. anyway, she said, oh, all right, I'm happy to make a call. What's the business name? What's their phone number? So I gave all that to the police officer. 15 minutes later, she rang me back and gave me a receipt number and said, they're going to pay you. It normally comes in my account the following day. Apparently this time I had 5 days wait, and Christmas in between could make it longer, and it's 2 weeks later and I still haven't been paid. So I will be ringing that police station, because either the cops lied to me and tried to just blow me off, which is likely, or the business is stealing from me, in which case I will take it up with the Consumer Affairs and they will be paying me, and I will be, well, put it this way, it'll cost them $1,000 minimum to go to court with a lawyer for the day. In fact, I think they'll probably find it's more than that. I'm quite happy to settle for about $800 plus my money. So at the end of the day, I'm going to push it right through. I'll lodge a complaint with the Magistrates Court myself if I have to, because what they did was discriminate and steal based on the fact of medical information, which I don't have to provide to anybody. I've never had to provide it to anybody, and I'm not going to start now. So stand in your truth, people. We get more results if everybody stands in their truth, if everyone sticks up for what's right, and if everybody just says no. They can't do anything. They can't make you QR code. They can't make you take a test. They can't make you take a jab, and they can't fine you. You just have to say no. Don't contract with these people. And businesses that do this, walk away. They're not worth it, right? Go find another business, deal with them. There's people I'm hoping to find, and I haven't put it in there yet, but I'll go to the Truthers Trades and Services Marketplace later, and I'll put a request in for someone that picks up scrap metal and see if there's an awake person that can make some money off that and pay me for it as well. Keep the business local, keep it within our community, because that's what we need now. We need community in order to find the unity, because society has failed us big time, and society can be conditioned and controlled, as we've seen. Mass media, corporate things, corporate business, been playing us for years. It's all psyops, it's all subliminal programming, it's all messaging that psychologists and psychiatrists probably see right through in many cases. But the average Joe isn't going to know what they're doing half the time. And I mean, unless you're an Aspie or you've got some form of, pattern forming seeing ability, like, I guess myself and some other people I know, you'll miss a lot of that stuff. And we get it, right? Because we miss other stuff that you guys think is important. So, but that's okay. It's just, you need everybody. You need all the different types of people out in this world to make this world go round. And the more diverse everybody is, the more different we all are, the more beautiful the world becomes, and the more opportunities we have. And if everyone was the same, like they want to make it, how boring would this place be? It's like if everybody was good all the time, how boring would it be? You've got to let your hair down. You've got to have a bit of fun sometimes. And you've got to say no, especially when it is wrong. So anyway, I've done enough preaching. I'm sort of thinking, anybody else like to ask a question, say anything, or I need that crickets button pen.
Yeah, well, it's a bit quiet tonight. A lot of people are camping on the way, before these apparent lockdowns happen. So, don't really have much else to say myself, to be honest.
I don't know that there will be. I don't know that there will be lockdowns. I know they're trying to drive up the numbers. I'm not going to manifest lockdowns in by worrying about them. I think the more you worry about something, the more likely it is to happen. So just go about your lives, ignore the bullshit, smile, be happy, connect with people, hug, shake hands, keep up basic hygiene habits like anybody that should have learned by 3 or 4 years old. And you should be fine, and eat well. Yes, Penny, I know, don't you dare put me in trouble for that. But eat well.
I'm going to dob you in a minute. Don't you tell us to eat well.
I eat well.
But I will just say, my daughter had her 19th birthday and she was out celebrating with her friends who, some vaccinated, and, she's 19. So the more drinks she had, probably the more hugs she gave. She gets very lovey-dovey after a few drinks. And, it was a very hot night. So 2 days later, she's sick as a dog. And it's the shedding. It wasn't from the drinking. That was that night probably, but she didn't drink that much. And she's sick from the shedding, right? So sore back, body pains, headache, fever, very high fever, loss of appetite, and you're just really tired. So yeah, it is a thing, you know, so just be careful. Skin contact, it is a thing, the shedding. So, you know, she's never been like this before. She's never really sick.
I was always a germaphobe before this. Now I've lost a lot of that through this, because now I know the truth about so many things medically that I never knew before.
Yeah.
So, you know, I knew what was going on. I knew what the corporations and what the media were doing. I knew what the government was doing. I've seen a lot of that for most of my life. But yeah, the health things I'm being educated on, and that's a lot of your doing. Thanks, Pen. But yeah.
All greens, eat your greens, guys. Get alkaline. Keep your body alkaline, less sugar. Don't feed the sickness.
Hey, it doesn't. I mean, we've got medical people here. Don't brains work on glucose?
Yeah, it'll go absolutely wired. That's what it'll do.
No, it'll trigger you and I'll get in trouble is what it'll do. I'm not going to go there. You should see when I go shopping and Penny happens to ring, I actually tell her what I'm buying, and she hangs up on me sometimes. She gets
Look, I'm out of here. You can eat your ice cream and your topping.
I'll video it next time.
Yes, naughty.
That is true. I do eat ice cream and topping. So
For breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
no, I only have it once a day. Well, not every day either. That sounds really bad too. But yeah, sometimes I put fruit with it. Canned pears. Yeah, canned pears and chocolate sauce. You know, the one Choc Magic, Ice Choc Magic, and caramel. They've got that
preservative and flavouring and colouring. I'm
a sweet tooth. It's what makes me so sweet. So it probably also why I have ADHD and several other conditions. But anyway, we won't go there either. Cool. Well, we've hit the hour point. So unless anybody wants to sort of bring anything else into it or ask any questions or give me suggestions and maybe tell me off for my poor behaviour at times, then, you know, I'm happy to sort of close
Penny,
down.
just for those, and Graham, for those who've just joined today, how frequently are you having these meetings so the others can hear about what you guys have been up to?
So every Sunday night, what we've been doing are 2-hour meetings, but they're a long time, and you know, sort of we're trying to sort of keep it moving through. And like they blow over by half an hour, and you can go for 2.5, 3 hours, and it can be a pretty long night. So I thought we'd knock it back to the hour, and if we've got a lot of engagement and people are asking a lot of questions, we can go for that bit longer. Most of the people that are coming now are aware of what the QMS is about for the most part. For those that the QMS means quantum management system, and I can go through my really brief rundown of what it is again, but it's just a tool for us to base our policy making decisions on as a people. It works at different levels. I mean, you could use it at any level, really. You could use it in a street right through to a national level. It should not be globalized as a system, but it can be made available for other countries so that it could be that each country has its own member-only section to it, so they can maintain the diversity of their culture and their law systems and health systems and whatever else so they can structure it themselves. I mean, it's the sort of thing that, look, we sort of know where some of the things are heading at the moment with relation to health and the population and all that sort of thing. What we need at the moment is what we're watching is the fall of Western democracy, the collapse of the financial system, the awakening of the masses with regard to what's been going on and the complicity, the lies, the deceit that's been engendered on us, the theft, the genocides, the wars. People are sick of it, and it's time we all step up and say, no, it's time to evolve as a race, you know, the human race. So not individual races. We're all one race. We're all one people. If we can get the QMS working here, other Western democracies are already watching. We speak with New Zealand, people in New Zealand, people in America, people in the UK who are watching what we're doing here at the moment in Canada. If we get the QMS working here, I'm pretty sure you'll see I'll give it to them. Like, we just give it to them. There's no need for us to just, doesn't matter what it costs or what it is. I'm not making anything. I'm not going to get rich and, I don't want to be famous, but, I didn't want riches and fame from it. I just want to be free. I want the world to be free for my son. And I want our people to be free, all of us. So, and I'd love to see unity. And the only way that we're going to stop all of this division is by getting rid of the corrupt media, the corrupt corporations, the corrupt governments that create it, because it's not people that create division. People have arguments and fights amongst themselves, but they don't throw us all in boxes until they've heard in the media or from the government that this is the box people should go in, right? So people themselves don't go to war. We're not going to have wars with other countries in people-led democracy. If we have what we currently have, it's about money, it's about status, it's about power, it's about control. And as I say, government should be government should be transparent if it's looking out for the people, and people should be private. And that's what we want to bring back. We want to bring back privacy for the people, transparency for those in governance and high office. Now, when I say high office, we don't have politicians, you're still going to have public servants. You're going to have judges and law. Well, I don't know whether we'll need lawyers down the track, because I'd like to see law rewritten in common language, and that'd be one thing I'd propose in the QMS once we can get the system in place. But that'll come down to the people interested in the law and legal stuff. They'll be the people that design it. It's non-compulsory voting, so we're not going to be voting on every single topic. If we don't have skin in the game or we're not interested, we won't have reason to vote for or against something. So we might just decide to abstain. And if we do want to put our, add weight to something or vote on it, depending on how much skin we've got in the game, and whether that's any or none, doesn't really matter, we can. But we've got something that'll educate us on the way. It'll show us what we're looking at, why it's there, who's doing it, how it was developed, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what's important, not to just be told, we've got a terrible things coming into the country at the moment. It could kill you. There's all sorts of people are at risk. Oh, terror, 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 fear, fear, fear. Gee, you better take this medicine now because that'll keep you safe. Oh no, they're not dying from the medicine. No, we wouldn't do that. No, they're not. No, that's because of something else. Oh, it must be the fear, fear, fear coming back in. That's how they control you. And I refuse to accept that. I'm not going to live in fear. I'm not going to live under somebody else's control. That's why I'm not married. That's why I have an ex-wife. They're only joking, but they're not saying that all people like that, but my ex-wife was. Anyway, I just can't, I'm not living like that in any way, shape or form. And we are in a bad relationship with our government at the moment. I don't know whether anyone saw something I shared the other day. I actually copied and pasted it, but it was basically talking about a woman. I've got a friend, her husband won't let her go out. He won't let her work. He's controlling what she does and who she speaks to. She's not allowed to say anything. She's not allowed to tell anyone what's going on. And I mean, honestly, if a man does that to a woman, he should be in prison. Guess what, guys? Your government's done it to all of us, right? And worse, they're forcing medical procedures on us now. Not directly forcing, but they're doing it through coercive behaviours. And I can't accept that. I'm not going to cop that. So we'll get through this. We the people who stand strong, stand in our truth, refuse to participate and dissent. Sure, we're going to lose some money. We might lose, we'll lose things. That's fine. It's called shedding things off, getting rid of them because you don't really need them anymore. What we need is each other. So, and I know because I've lost a fair bit through the last 12 months and the year before. And you know what? I've gained far more than I could ever have lost because of the beautiful people around me and the people that have come to support me at the times when things have been their worst. And I mean, I feel very lucky to sit in the position I sit in that regard. So, oh God, you're talking the biggest introvert ever, and here I am hosting Zoom meetings, It's just, it's not how I pictured my life would be. So yeah, anyway, it's been great having you all in. I hope everyone's got something from the meeting, and if you've got any questions, you're welcome to come to me or Pen and ask us anything. Marika knows a lot about the system too, as do several other people. So if you've got anything you want to chat about, or you've got ideas that you want to bring forth, this is a place to do it. Give us a call. We'll hook you up. We'll jump on the QMS. It's the QMS.org. Regular event every Sunday night, 7:30 p.m, where we're going to do this. So please invite your friends and families so they can see what we're doing too. And look, if you know teachers, doctors, nurses, if you know anybody in fields of law, or whatever it may be that you think may be beneficial to the people, things that are being taken away from the people at the moment, bring them all under our umbrella. They don't have to meet me or Penny. Just show them what we're doing. And if they really want to talk to us about it, we'll make the time, we'll talk to them. But it's for you guys to use. It's just network, connect, and create. And let's build a better country. Let's build a better world, because that's why we're all here. So it's just a matter of doing it. So yeah, thanks guys. Love you all heaps. Thank you. We do record these meetings, so I will put it out on the website. If anybody's got an objection, let me know and I'll blank you out or whatever. But yeah, it sort of says that when you come in, I think, anyway. So, but yeah, thanks for coming. Really appreciate you being here, and we'll catch you next week. And yeah, I will hopefully be able to tell you what's going on with Ed at that stage, and I think you'll be pretty impressed. So I've got the list of names sitting in front of me, and I almost feel like name dropping, but I'm not going to. I have to be good at the moment. So, but yeah, some big things, and it will show one way or another whether our legal system's worth anything. So yeah, which I don't think it is personally, but we'll see. We'll test. All right, guys. Love you heaps. Thanks. See you later.
Thanks, everyone. Good night.
And Alan, thanks, Pen, for being in the background, and to Marika for admitting for us as well. And sorry, Marika, that I put you on the spot earlier. I'll see you guys later. Bye.